अभी क्या कह रहे हैं सब लोग आपसे?
वो कुछ कह ही नहीं रहे, वो कुछ जाने भी नहीं दे रहे हमको,
जाने नहीं दे रहे हैं अंदर?
नहीं दे रहे,
कुछ पता चल पाया उनकी हालत के बारे में?
कुछ भी पता नहीं चला।
हाँ, पुलिस क्या कह रही है?
पुलिस ने पूरे हॉस्पिटल में भी जाके देख के आए, कहीं भी पता नहीं चला, इसलिए हम यहाँ तसल लेके आ रहे थे, लेकिन हमको जाने ही नहीं दे रहे आगे से।
नहीं, पुलिस कह रही है कि आप अपने डीएनए सैंपल देंगे तो आपके लोगों को वो पहचान सकते हैं, तो क्या आप ये जानते हैं?
हाँ, लेके आए।
मैं, मेरी मम्मी और मेरी बेटी 2 साल की ये ढूंढने के लिए आए हैं। जो
2 साल की बेटी?
हाँ, मेरी 2 साल की बेटी है।
क्या आप कह रहे हैं पुलिस के लोग आपसे?
यहाँ से तो कुछ अभी मिला तो नहीं है। जो कल आग लगी थी उसमें भी सब स्टूडेंट लोगों को तो भी ले गए, सब वहाँ से अभी बाहर निकल गई है मेस में से, बिल्डिंग में से। पर मेरी अभी तक मेरी मम्मी और मेरी 2 साल की लड़की।
तो क्या उस बच्ची को लेकर आपकी मम्मी काम करने के लिए यहाँ पर है?
हम लोग, मैं, मेरी वाइफ, मेरे पापा, हम लोग सब यहीं काम करते हैं। मम्मी खाना बनाने का काम करती है।
आप क्या करते हैं यहाँ पर?
मैं यहाँ पे से जो खाना बनाते हैं, यहाँ से सीनियर रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर है सिविल में, वहाँ पे हम खाना सप्लाई करते हैं डॉक्टर के लिए।
आप जिस वक्त हादसा हुआ आप यहाँ नहीं थे?
ना, हम 1 बजे यहाँ से टिफ़िन भर के निकल जाते हैं और हम सिविल के अंदर टिफ़िन देने 1 घंटे जैसा हमको टिफ़िन देने में लगता है।
टिफिन देने के लिए गए इसलिए आपकी जान बच सकी, लेकिन आपके फैमिली के लोग अंदर?
मेरी मम्मी और मेरी लड़की हर रोज़ की तरह अंदर टिफ़िन मम्मी से झूले के अंदर सुला देती है और मम्मी काम करती है।
कितने बजे आते थे रोज़ और कितने बजे निकलते थे यहाँ से?
हम रोज़ यहाँ से 10 साढ़े 10 बजे निकले तो वापस 3 बजे रिटर्न निकलते हैं। हाँ, और ये हादसा ही 2 बजे जैसा हो गया है, पौने 2 बजे जैसा।
कुछ पता चल पा रहा है अपने लोगों के बारे में आपको? पुलिस क्या कह रही है?
मुझसे पता तो अभी कुछ चल पा नहीं रहा है, कोई नहीं है अभी तो।
शवों को यहाँ से लेकर जाया गया है, कुछ ऐसा है?
वहाँ वो विजय मेडिकल के जो जूनियर डॉक्टर थे स्टूडेंट, उन लोगों को 3 लोगों को तो पहचान गए हैं जहाँ पीएम में, शायद उन लोगों की पता चल गया, पर मेरी मम्मी और मेरी 2 साल की लड़की का अभी तक कोई पता नहीं चल पाया है।
क्या बात हुई थी आखिरी आपकी उनसे?
हम जो रोज़ की तरह जो हम निकलते हैं बस वही कहते हैं कि मम्मी हम टिफ़िन देने जा रहे हैं, बस, बाकी कोई बात।
कौन निकला था आपके साथ वहाँ से?
मैं, मेरी मम्मी, मेरे पापा, मेरे जीजा जी, हम सब साथ में निकल जाते हैं।
तो खाली आपकी मम्मी और बच्ची अंदर?
हाँ, बच्ची और मम्मी अंदर थे।
अंदर आप लोग को जाने को तो नहीं मिला?
नहीं, जाने नहीं दे रहे जाने।
क्या कोशिश करेंगे अब आगे? क्या हॉस्पिटल जाएंगे, ट्रॉमा सेंटर जाएंगे?
हाँ, अभी वापस हॉस्पिटल तो जाएंगे, अभी देखते हैं क्या होता है। अभी लिस्ट में वापस नाम देखते हैं, अगर नाम अपडेट होता है तो कोई।
क्योंकि अभी भी कुछ लोगों का रेस्क्यू किया जा रहा है, अभी भी कुछ लोगों को निकाला गया है अंदर से, ऐसा
पता निकाला गया है तो कोई लिस्ट जाहिर हो ही नहीं, आगे आ ही नहीं रहा है कि यहाँ से लेके आ रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ बता नहीं रहे, खाली ले आ ही रहा है, तो हमको पता कैसे चलेगा?
जो लोग हैं वो काफ़ी जल गए हैं तो उनको पहचानना भी मुश्किल है, आप कैसे पहचान पाएंगे?
अगर कुछ साड़ी वाड़ी, कोई कान की बाली है, ऐसा कुछ पहना हो तो पता चले, पर ऐसा कुछ दिखने को नहीं दे रहे। अभी 72 घंटे रिपोर्ट डीएनए का आए तब पता चले कि आपको बता सकते हैं ऐसा कुछ।
मतलब 72 घंटे, 2 से 3 दिन का वक्त लगे?
हाँ, 2-3
दिन। डीएनए सैंपल देखे?
हाँ, डीएनए सैंपल दे के आ गए हम विजय मेडिकल में।
अच्छा, कितने देर में रिपोर्ट आने की बात कर रहे हैं?
72 कलाक,
72 घंटे लग जाएंगे। हाँ। बच्ची के लिए भी और अपनी माँ के लिए?
हाँ, दोनों के लिए।
All right, we have some breaking news coming in right now, and the latest update we have is that the Prime Minister has met Air India CEO Wilson Campbell. Remember, Wilson Campbell landed in Ahmedabad last night, and now the Prime Minister held a meeting with the Air India CEO Wilson Campbell Wilson. And this is the breaking news we have right now. Remember, the Prime Minister has been monitoring the situation since yesterday. Today he was at the crash site. He also met those who are injured. He also met the lone survivor today at the hospital in Ahmedabad. And now he's holding a meeting with the Air India CEO Campbell Wilson. He's meeting the Prime Minister in Ahmedabad. Prime Minister Modi also held a high-level meeting today earlier. And then took stock of the situation. He was briefed by the officials about the rescue operation. And of course, the biggest question right now is what led to this tragic, the worst ever air tragedy that India has witnessed. It's a matter of investigation, and the Prime Minister is now meeting the Air India CEO Campbell, who we, Republic TV, had confronted last night at the airport. He remained non-committal. He did not have any answers when he was confronted by Republic TV's reporter Gopi. Right now as we speak, the Air India CEO is meeting the Prime Minister right now. And remember, the Civil Aviation Minister and the PMO yesterday itself got in touch with Air India and sought report on what has happened. And of course the inquiry is happening. Formal investigation began last night itself. Right now the crash site has also been sealed. The forensic testing is also happening. Okay, my colleague Harsha is joining us live on the broadcast for more. Harsha, tell us more details about this meeting that is right now underway between the Air India CEO and Prime Minister Modi.
So, Rakshita, to tell our viewers and to everyone watching Republic right now that Campbell Wilson, the CEO of Air India, met PM Modi half an hour back. The meeting went on for 20 minutes. The meeting has concluded just 10 minutes back, and both have met, and PM have inquired about what Air India has so far done in the aftermath of the plane crash, what assistance have been provided to the family members of the victims, how Air India is dealing with customers right now, and everything has been apprised to Prime Minister Narendra Modi by Air India CEO Campbell Wilson. The much have been spoken between the two in the 20 minutes meeting, which was a closed door meeting. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Air India CEO and other officials were present in that meeting. But yes, we know that the meeting went on for 20 minutes because Prime Minister Narendra Modi, since the time he has arrived in Ahmedabad, he went to the hospital, met the family members, also met the people who are critical, and also the lone survivor admitted in the hospital. He have inquired about everything. Prime Minister himself spoke to the hospital staff and the doctors as well who are treating. And right now what we've gotten to know that it's very important to know exactly what is Air India also doing in this entire matter. How is Air India ensuring that each and every family members of the victim are assisted properly, they get proper compensation, and more than compensation, right now it's the very emotional time for the family members. How Air India is dealing with it, that entire thing Air India CEO Campbell Wilson has apprised Prime Minister Modi of. The meeting went on for 20 minutes. More details will come out shortly. But yes, we are learning that Prime Minister inquired about each and everything from the time of the crash to till the time Campbell Wilson has reached Ahmedabad, and what they are doing still to assist the family members and help the family members of the victim. Back to you.
Right. Thank you so much, Harsha, for joining us. Harsha getting us every detail from the National Capital. Viewers, with that, we submit a very, very short break, but we will continue to get you the latest coming in as far as all the angles in connection with this biggest air tragedy is concerned. Remember, viewers, Republic TV is going to tell you how a whistleblower last year had warned about the Boeing aircraft. But was it ignored? What did he say? What happened after that, or what did not happen? We'll get you all of that and more. Also, biggest story from across the country in West Asia. Israel strikes Iran's nuclear facilities. Some massive escalation in West Asia. Israel declares a state of emergency. We'll get you more on that. Stay tuned.
Amity University has one of India's largest merit scholarship programs for brilliant students. Over 9,000 students with 90% plus in their 12th boards are currently at Amity, benefiting from the culture of academic excellence and focus on research and innovation. To be with like-minded students who want to be successful, apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबान में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
विमल में गुलिस्तां के ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की जुबान में खुद को ऐसे डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं? विमल, बोलो जुबान कैसी?
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Air India flight makes emergency landing in Thailand. Bomb threat note found in LAV. The lavatory of Air India 379 operating today morning from Phuket to Delhi. Prime Minister Modi in Ahmedabad visits the crash site this morning and meets the injured victims in the hospital, including the lone survivor. An Apache of the Indian Air Force makes a precautionary landing near Pathankot today. Air India under immense scrutiny. 3 flights hit with multiple snags yesterday.
I want to make clear that I have raised these issues over 3 years. I was ignored. I was told not to create delays. I was told, frankly, to shut up.
Boeing 787 Dreamliner was flawed. Whistleblower sounded an alarm early in the year 2024. Was his warning ignored? And Israel strikes Iran's nuclear plant in a massive escalation in West Asia. Israel declares a state of emergency as it anticipates retaliation. Breaking news coming in right now, viewers. The black box decoding will be conducted at a neutral high capability lab. The AAIB, the investigating bureau of the aviation sector aircraft, is leading independent investigation following the ICAO's Annex 13 guidelines. Black box decoding to be conducted at the neutral high capability lab, probably at BEA France or NTSB USA, and BCAS will be involved in the case of suspected sabotage or tinkering, and that's what we are breaking right now. This is the update we have as far as the investigation. Remember, viewers, black box is very important. Black box, in fact, gives what happened in the past 24 hours in the flight, in the cockpit, and the black box is very, very crucial for any crash that happens because it gives out details, it has recordings, and this decoding will happen at this lab that we're talking about, and it can take a lot of time as well, depending on the condition, how damaged the black box is. You know, it can take a day, it can take days, it can also take months. So we do not know how long this is going to take, but the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau is holding an independent investigation into the matter, and of course the black box is going to be investigated. We have to have clarity right now that has the black box been recovered yet or not, because there are multiple reports about it that it has been recovered, or has the Aditya joins us on the broadcast from the National Capital. Aditya, I want to first understand from you, has the black box been recovered? And if so, what is the latest update? How long can it take? Because it's going to be decoded at the Neutral High Capability Lab.
Yeah, hi. I have been confirmed by the Ministry of Civil Aviation by some highly placed sources. There are 3 major developments which are happening. Now, the first one is that AAIB is conducting an independent investigation following ICAO INAC 13 guideline. Now, the second one is a major development happening, which is the decoding of the black box. Now, which is said to be done conducted at a neutral space, which is highly possibility at a PEA France or NTSB USA. And the third development, which is said to happen, is that PCAS will be involved in the case of investigation to suspect whether there was a kind of a sabotage or tinkering with the black box in that flight which led to a crash. Now, these are the major three sources, news-based, which came from Ministry of Civil Aviation, which has been confirmed by them on account of being anonymous. But yes, this is coming right from the Ministry of Civil Aviation.
Aditya, also to help our viewers understand how crucial the black box is, because we understand that it can have crucial records, as far as what really happened, because it still remains a mystery. Was it an engine failure? What really happened? Because it took off very smoothly. But what really happened right this few seconds after the takeoff, that's a mystery. So how does the black box really help in that?
The black box, actually, it's a set of the whole procedure, what happened and what might have led to it, the whole history, the whole systematic procedures, which are the part of the black box. Now, the whole idea is to get it done through an investigation done at a neutral space, which will actually uncover how it led, what was the reason, and what might be the shortfalls which have led to this kind of a crash. So this all will become after the investigation, which is said to be done at a neutral space, as confirmed by some highly placed source at the Ministry of Civil Aviation.
All right, Aditya, thank you so much for joining us with those updates coming in, viewers. So the black box will be investigated. It will be decoded. The data will be decoded abroad at a neutral lab. So that's very important to understand. And viewers, the black box, remember, it consists of crash-resistant devices, but it could be damaged as well. We do not know yet about the status of that black box, but it has the flight data recorder that logs thousands of technical parameters, including altitude, speed, and engine performance. All right, and now viewers, Air India is now under massive scrutiny, and on the 12th of June, remember, 3 Air India flights had reported major technical issues shortly after the takeoff. Now, flight AI3416 from Chandigarh to Leh returned to Chandigarh due to low pressure in the green hydraulic pump, later found to be caused by a hydraulic leak near the nose gear. Now, flight AI2410 from Kolkata to Mumbai experienced a bird hit upon landing, resulting in visible dent damage to the nose radome. Meanwhile, flight AI2465 from Delhi to Hyderabad continued to its destination despite both windshields cracking mid-flight. These are 3 snags that have been, reported in the past 2 days, viewers. And Air India needs to investigate that. These cannot be happening day in, day out. And this is, of course, important updates that we are getting in right now. Not just that, viewers, yesterday we got you how there are show-cause notices that have been lying with the Air India. It's lying with the Air India in the Air India office, and nothing has been done about it. And now we have more than 200 people losing their lives in this tragedy. And questions must be answered by Air India. Air India CEO Campbell Wilson right now is meeting the Prime Minister. Prime Minister is taking cognizance of the matter, personally monitoring the entire situation. Because with Air India, viewers, these issues have been going on for ages. And there are issues, there are talks about the Boeing aircraft and also about how there could be certain things that were not so normal with this particular aircraft as well. And right now, my colleague Harsha is joining us from the National Capital to get us more on that. Harsha, we've been digging out all these records of Air India, and it's important to understand that with Air India, there has been a clear pattern of negligence. These are 3 technical snags that have been reported in the past 24 to 48 hours.
Yes, Rakshita, it was yesterday only when there was a devastating news of the plane crash in the Ahmedabad London-bound aircraft on the same day. Yesterday there was three aircraft of Air India from which the technical snag were flagged. The concerns were flagged by the crew members, by the staff, and it was Chandigarh-Leh-bound airline. One and another one was Kolkata-Mumbai-bound, and the third one was Delhi-Hyderabad-bound Air India flight. Only one Chandigarh-Leh, after witnessing that there is a green hydraulic pump issue, which was a dangerous thing. After that, it turned back and made an emergency landing back to Chandigarh. While in both cases, in the Kolkata, Mumbai and Delhi, Hyderabad flight, both the flight went to its destination. And after landing in the destination, Air India informed DGCA, the regulator, after landing that this was a technical snag which was witnessed in the aircraft. Also, the investigation has started, and we are taking all necessary measures to ensure that passengers' safety is the utmost important. This Air India stated to DGCA, but we know what's the past of Air India. Rakshita, from past 8 months to 1 year, we have reported several technical snags in Air India. Earlier, they used to not even report to DGCA regulator and BCAS. They used to just go to the destination without even flagging that there is a problem with the equipment, there's a problem with the wing or the machine or the cracked windshield. Can you imagine, in the Delhi-Hyderabad bound flight, the two windshields were cracked. And when the flight reached its destination, Hyderabad, at that time, Air India informed DGCA regulator about the cracked windshield. Imagine if there could be an air pressure or some dangerous accident could have occurred because of the cracked windshield. The gravity, the intensity, the seriousness of the situation, Air India still doesn't understand. Even after yesterday's incident, what we see here is that in none of these cases, Air India yet has not released any media statement, a press statement coming out telling that what investigation is taking place, how is Air India dealing with it, whether the aircraft has been sent to isolation bay, to the maintenance center, to the MRO center. Nothing have been stated by Air India till now. We got to know through our sources. Republic has a hands on all these information that there is an immense technical snag in Air India aircraft. Most of the Airbus A320 have been witnessing the expired equipment and the faulty equipment's news from the side of the crew members and the attendants of the aircraft to the Air India. Complaints have been made several times. Back to you.
Absolutely, Harsha. Many questions to be answered. Thanks so much for joining us with the detailed viewers, because it's not just Air India we're asking questions from, Boeing. And remember, there was a man who had actually raised questions on the Boeing aircraft, this particular aircraft. Air India's flight AI-171 with the 242 on board flying to London had crashed shortly after the takeoff in Ahmedabad. It was one of the worst aviation disasters. Now, this plane was a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, a fuel-efficient, wide-bodied aircraft that is the pride of the US company's catalog for long-distance flights. Now, despite being marketed as one of the safest and most advanced aircraft, this Dreamliner has been linked to several technical faults. In fact, the crash had put the spotlight on claims by a Boeing engineer last year who said that the 787 Dreamliner suffers from assembly defects that threaten safety. This whistleblower in the year 2024, last year, told the US Senate about structural problems in the Dreamliner's fuselage and claimed that small gaps and improper assembly could cause early wear and possible structural failure. Just take a listen to what this whistleblower had said last year.
I have analyzed Boeing's own data to conclude that the company is taking manufacturing shortcuts on the 787 program that may significantly reduce the airplane safety and the life cycle. Since 2013, there have been serious issues on the 787 program, not properly closing thousands of gaps in its assembly of the fuselage on major joints. Boeing's standard says that these gaps must be closed, usually by a small shim or filler called a shim when they exceed 5 thousandths of an inch. This seems very small. Boeing's PR team to call it the width of a human hair when you are operating at 35,000 feet. Details are that the size of a human hair can be a matter of a life and death. In a rush to address its bottlenecks in production, Boeing hit problems, pushing pieces together with excessive force to make him appear that the gaps don't exist, even though they exist. The gap didn't actually go away, and this may result in premature fatigue failure. Effectively, they are putting out defective airplanes.
So he clearly warned that he does not want a catastrophe to happen and that this is not how you build an aircraft. That's what he had said, viewers. Now, in just 59 seconds, this catastrophe took place. Everything changed in 59 seconds. What began as a routine flight filled with excited families, first-time flyers, and last-minute goodbye texts turned into an unthinkable tragedy. As Air India 171 took off, some passengers were heading home, others off to summer vacations, none of them knowing it would be their final journey. This video reconstructs the flight moment by moment, from the unusual dip at 14 seconds to the explosion at 30 seconds. No landed safely messages followed. Instead, chaos unfolded on the ground, hospitals overwhelmed, families waiting, lives shattered. Survivors speak. One missed the flight by just hours, another saved by traffic, one more who jumped, miraculously saved. This is more than just a crash, it's a story of loss, it's a story of fate and the fragile seconds that change everything.
In-flight entertainment was not working. Then after and as usual the in-flight entertainment is not working. Leave in-flight entertainment.
Calculator landing stations.
If I talk about this light, it is also not working. If I press this cabin crew button, it's not working either. Nothing is working. Nothing at all. We are almost about to taxi, but this AC is not working. Look at everyone, and it's so many people. They are using these magazines. AC is not working at all. And as usual, your TV screens are also not working. Neither this button for calling the cabin crew. Nothing is working. Nothing. Not even the light is working. See, is this what you are providing? And as usual, that is why Air India is considered as one of the worst airlines in the world. AC is still not working, and today it is very, very, very hot in Delhi.
बूमी चौहान, कैन यू हियर मी? आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hearing that you missed that flight, what time was the flight takeoff scheduled for?
The takeoff time was around 1:10.
1:10?
Yes.
And how many minutes did you miss the flight by?
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Only 10 minutes.
And
just because of 10 minutes, I am not able to travel.
You know, I don't know what to tell you, Bhumi ji, but you know, it's one of those things. It's intervention, perhaps intervention that you were not on that flight. But you know, I hope you're praying for everyone else on that flight.
Definitely, I'm completely devastated after hearing all this loss.
Yes.
And my body is literally shivering.
And now viewers, the story of the lone survivor, the miracle that happened. Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, the 40-year-old British Indian who miraculously survived this air crash, his plane crash in Ahmedabad yesterday, shared his ordeal. Listen into how he survived India's biggest aviation tragedy.
पूछा कि कैसे हुआ, तो मैंने उसके बारे में बताया और सब हाल चाल पूछा सब, और मेरे नज़रों के सब सामने हुआ था। मेरे खुद को भी बिलीव नहीं होता कि मैं कैसे उसमें से जिंदा बाहर निकला, क्योंकि थोड़ा टाइम लिए कि तो मेरे को लगा था कि मैं भी मरने वाला हूँ, लेकिन जब मेरी आँख खुल के मैं देखा ना तो मुझे लगा मैं जिंदा हूँ। तो मैंने ट्राई किया, जब मेरी सीट थे वो मेरी बेल्ट निकाला, मैंने वो ट्राई किया जहाँ से निकल सकता वहाँ से, तो मैं निकल गया वहाँ से। मेरे नज़रों के सामने एयर होस्टल और दूसरे आंटी अंकल सभी उसमें मैच हो गए थे सभी। टेक ऑफ के बाद 1 मिनट के अंदर ही जब टेक ऑफ हुआ ना, तो सडनली 5-10 सेकंड कैसे लगा जैसे स्ट्रक हो गया वो। बाद में से मेरे को लगा कि कुछ हुआ, बाद में प्लेन में लाइट ऑन हो गई, ग्रीन और वाइट। बाद में वो पता नहीं वो प्लेन टेक ऑफ ज़्यादा करने के लिए वो रेस तो बोलते हैं क्या, रेस दिया होगा ऐसा कुछ, और सीधा स्पीड में ही घुस गया जहाँ वो क्या था वो हॉस्टल में, और सब सामने सब हुआ। मैं जो साइड पे था ना, वो साइड हॉस्टल पे नहीं लैंड हुई थी, हॉस्टल के जो ग्राउंड फ्लोर है ना जैसे नीचे, वहाँ लैंड हुई थी। तो मुझे दूसरे के बारे में मेरे को पता नहीं, लेकिन मैं जहाँ लैंड हुआ था ना वो नीचे की साइड थी, तो जब वहाँ थोड़ा पेस भी था प्लेन के जब बाहर, तो जब जैसे मेरा डोर टूटा ना सब, तो मैंने देखा ना जब सामने कि थोड़ा इधर पेस है, मैं ट्राई कर सकता हूँ निकलने के लिए, तो मैंने ट्राई किया निकलने के लिए, तो फिर मैं निकल गया उधर, क्योंकि अपोजिट साइड पे था ना वो बिल्डिंग का वो था ना दीवार, तो उधर से कोई शायद नहीं निकल सका होगा, क्योंकि उधर पूरा उधर ही क्रैश हुआ था। मैं जो जहाँ था वहाँ थोड़ा पेस था, फिर भी मेरे पता नहीं मैं कैसे बचा हूँ, क्योंकि मेरे नज़र के सामने ही सब 2 एयर होस्टल वो अंकल आंटी सब उधर ही सब। और थोड़ा जब आग लगी ना मेरा लेफ्ट हैंड भी जल गया थोड़ा, फिर एम्बुलेंस मेरे को उठा लेके इधर आया हॉस्पिटल में।
Alright, we have breaking news coming in right now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has met the family of former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, who lost his life unfortunately in the tragic crash. Narendra Modi has tweeted this picture as he met the family, who is in mourning, along with Bhupesh Patel, who is the current Chief Minister of Gujarat. He tweeted, and I quote, met the family of Shri Vijay Bhai Rupani ji. It is unimaginable that Vijay Bhai is not in our midst. I have known him for decades. We worked together, shoulder to shoulder, including during some of the most challenging times. Vijay Bhai was humble and hardworking, firmly committed to the party's ideology. Rising up the ranks, he held various responsibilities in the organization and went on to serve diligently as Gujarat's chief minister, unquote. The Prime Minister expressing condolences on the demise of former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, meeting his wife, meeting his family members, consoling them and regretting the loss of the former Chief Minister of Gujarat and the BJP leader Vijay Rupani, who lost his life. He was on board that Air India 171 aircraft. Gopi, my colleague, is joining us from Ahmedabad. Gopi, the Prime Minister was at the crash site. He met the victims. He's also now at Vijay Rupani's residence expressing condolences, and he's also tweeted this picture.
Well, yes, you know what we are seeing on the screen is Prime Minister meeting Vijay Rupani's family. While he did meet Anjali Rupani, wife of Vijay Rupani, in the morning at the airport. What we are learning from our sources is Vijay Rupani's son is going to land late tonight, and it is then when he will be deciding where will the funeral take place, but most probably it is going to happen in Rajkot, from where he hails. He hails from Rajkot, so it is going to happen at his ancestral village. That is what we are learning from our sources. Also, he was going to get his wife back from London, as she was there since past 6 months, staying with his daughter. So, while this incident happened, so a tragic incident happened wherein former Chief Minister Vijay Rupani lost his life. And we have been seeing the visuals since morning how Harsh Sanghvi, Home Minister of Gujarat, had received Anjali Rupani, who is the wife of Vijay Rupani. Further details are awaited, but yes, the funeral is going to happen in Rajkot, likely tomorrow or day after. Back to you.
All right, Gopi, thanks so much for joining us. With those details coming in, viewers, those on board lost their lives, except one man. All lost their lives. Vijay Rupani, the former Chief Minister, also lost his life. Prime Minister Narendra Modi at his residence. And in such times, he met the family of Vijay Rupani. We'll get you more updates from Ahmedabad. We'll tell you the story of the lone survivor. He's given a full account of what he witnessed, how he escaped the biggest aviation tragedy, saying it was a miraculous escape.
मेरी नई हुंडई एक्स्टर तुमने भी तो कल नई कार ली है ना, उसमें भी तो होगा ना ये वॉइस इनेबल सनरूफ
है ना अंकल, सिंगर इनेबल सनरूफ।
और बेनिफिट्स ये तो मिले होंगे ना,
ये मिला।
हाँ? हुंडई कार्स पर मिल रही है अमेजिंग डील्स। वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडई ही, चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
विमल में गुलिस्तां के ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की जुबान में खुद को ऐसे डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं? विमल, बोलो जुबान कैसी?
Amity University has one of India's largest merit scholarship programs for brilliant students. Over 9,000 students with 90% plus in their 12th boards are currently at Amity, benefiting from the culture of academic excellence and focus on research and innovation. To be with like-minded students who want to be successful, Apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला.
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते.
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना.
नए वाले नहीं करते. And they listen to what I say. The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
Silly me आए तो और
Cricket fans.
Summer is here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Very good afternoon, viewers. You're watching live and breaking. I'm Rakshita Mishra with you. We're tracking each and every angle as far as the investigation of the biggest aviation tragedy in the history of the country is concerned. In the latest, we have the Prime Minister meeting former Chief Minister of Gujarat, Vijay Rupani, who died in the plane crash yesterday. He's meeting his family, and also the investigation underway. The black box is very crucial. Remember, in this investigation, it's going to be decoded at a neutral facility. We'll get you more details on that. But first, the headlines at 3 p.m. Air India flight makes emergency landing in Thailand today. Bomb threat note found in the lavatory of a AI 379 operating today morning from Phuket to Delhi. Prime Minister Modi in Ahmedabad. He visits the crash site, meets the injured victims in the hospital, and the lone survivor was on board the flight. The black box from the crash will be sent to a top international lab, likely in France or the United States, for expert analysis. India's aviation watchdog leads the probe. Air India under immense scrutiny. 3 flights hit with multiple snags yesterday itself. Boeing 787 Dreamliner was flawed. Whistleblower sounded alarm early in 2024, but why was his warning ignored? Israel strikes Iran nuclear plant in massive escalation in West Asia. Israel declares state of emergency. Now, viewers, Air India is under major scrutiny. On the 12th of June, 3 Air India flights reported major technical issues shortly after the takeoff. And this was the flight Air India 3416 from Chandigarh to Leh that returned to Chandigarh due to low pressure in the green hydraulic pump. Now, later, it was found to be caused by a hydraulic leak near the nose gear. Now, flight Air India, another flight Air India 2410 from Kolkata to Mumbai experienced a bird hit upon landing, resulting in the visible dent damage to the nose radome. Another flight, third flight, we're talking about flight AI2465 from Delhi to Hyderabad continued to its destination despite both windshields cracking mid-flight. My colleague Harsha is getting us more on that. Harsha, what really happened? Because, we've seen there have been multiple issues with Air India, persistent issues for the longest time. Show cause notices have been lying in cold storage with Air India. And just on the day of this crash, there were 3 more technical slacks that were reported. And the same airline, that is Air India, that's now under scrutiny.
So Rakshita, Air India has been doing this ill practice of not informing about the technical snacks and the technical and mechanical issues in the aircraft since long. Earlier also, whenever Republic has reported, Republic has always reported through its sources. And several times we have sent them the mail asking them for a press statement. Yesterday also it was a similar time when Air India thought that because there has been a huge crash in the Ahmedabad-London bound flight, everyone will forget about the other 3 aircraft in which the technical snacks were reported, and that is the reason Air India did hide the information of the technical snack not only from the DGCA but from the press as well. Until now, no media statement and the press statement has been shared on the technical snack which was reported in the 3 Air India aircrafts which were flying from Chandigarh to Leh, another one from Kolkata to Mumbai, the third one from Delhi to Hyderabad. All these 3 aircrafts witnessed technical snag, and it could have led to a dangerous incident. And the flight, one Chandigarh-Leh turned back, did an emergency landing, while the other 2 went on their destination, the set destination which they are supposed to go. And after landing, after 2 hours, the Air India sent a preliminary report to DGCA informing about the entire incident. All these 3 aircrafts were Airbus A320, and the sittings were also of more than 100 passengers.
Absolutely,
Imagine a dangerous incident.
Harsha, of course, there are many questions that need to be answered by Air India. Thank you so much for joining us with those details, because now there are questions also on the Boeing aircraft. Air India, Boeing, both under scanner. Air India's flight AI171 crashed yesterday. Now this aircraft was a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, viewers. A fuel-efficient, wide-body aircraft that is the pride of Boeing's catalog for the long-distance travels. Now, despite being marketed as one of the safest and one of the most advanced aircraft, the Dreamliner has been linked to several technical faults. In fact, the crash has put the spotlight on claims by a Boeing engineer last year who said that the 787 Dreamliner suffers from assembly defects that threaten safety. The whistleblower in the year 2024 told the US Senate about structural problems in the Dreamliner's fuselage and claimed that small gaps and improper assembly could cause early wear and possible structural failure as well. Listen in to what the whistleblower had said last year.
This is like 3 years. For the 787, it's been 3 years of effort.
And so your concerns, who knew about your concerns? How far up the chain do you know that they went?
I have gone as high as Mark Stockton and Lisa Fall, who's the vice president.
The vice president of the company?
Yes.
So they were and are aware of these major safety concerns. And this is what you do for a living. I mean, you're an engineer, right? I mean,
I'm an engineer. I went to quality about 3-4 years ago. And when you put your quality hat, we are the eyes and ears of the public for the safety of the airplane. That's how I feel about our job. And so I have, when I see concerning information or concerning let's say, production issues, then it is our responsibility to make sure that, if we are causing the airplane to have increased risk factors, our job is to eliminate those risk factors. Right now, I would not, it's like an earthquake. The big earthquake is coming, but when that hits the building that, let's say if you're talking of a building, have to be prepared to accommodate that type of a, let's say, shakeup. It has to be built properly. Right now, from what I've seen, the airplanes are not being built per spec and per requirement.
So
that increases the risk factors. Okay, when you increase the risk factors, it's not just one. You are doing stress concentrations. Those stress concentrations, like breaking a paper clip, you do it once or twice, it doesn't break, but it breaks at some time. As the plane gets older, all of these things that you took, you said it's not a safety issue, it becomes a safety issue. Well, that started right after when I said, we have made over 300 plus airplanes. We still don't know how to put the load and sell. What I mean by that, if you build in an airplane, build in a house, it's like, put in the foundation. We have made over 300 airplanes. We still changing our process, like build the foundation to put the airplanes. We are struggling with that because they have changed the process, from stable to unstable situation. They're not building the same datums that we were building. So you're causing your own problem, but you don't want to admit it. Just force fit the problem, force fit the misaligned holes and everything else and move on. And that's what they have been doing. And that's what I have brought up to their attention. I told my boss that I said in the report, I said, we have made 300 plus airplanes. That should have been more than adequate for us to resolve these things. All the problems that we've had, we put Band-Aid over Band-Aid to resolve the problems, and Band-Aid over Band-Aid doesn't cover it. Maybe we need to consider some engineering fundamentals with a little bit of GD&T to figure out what the problem is. And right after that, he came back to my desk and he like I said, he made the threat. And then after that, he says, are you in or are you out?
Meaning what? Are you in and are you out with Boeing? Are you going to be a good citizen and keep your mouth shut? Was that the implication?
That's how I can interpret that. He would walk by me and he said, you better, then he said, I want you to write it in writing. Tell me, are you in or are you out? And there was 10 emails. Just because I haven't received your email on this, send it to me and this and that. His manipulation even got further than that. I'm trying to take a class on my own time that I have to flex the time. He wouldn't let me do that. I have a doctor's appointment. He cancels my doctor appointment at the same day. Different manipulating different things to retaliate, to make your life miserable. And then, I started talking to go somewhere else, you just try to escape from that because this is hell. It really has made me where 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm waking up with somebody stabbing me. I'm still receiving psychological help to just get back on normal.
Now, a smiling family, a final selfie, and a journey that ended in tragedy. 5 members of the Joshi family, including 3 young children, lost their lives in aviation history's worst ever plane crash. What remains now is just one haunting photograph and a void that can never be filled.
This is the last selfie of the Joshi family. Pratik Joshi, his wife Komi Vyas, and their 3 children, a daughter and twin sons. Smiling just moments before takeoff, a picture full of love, laughter and life, now frozen in time. They were on board the ill-fated Air India flight that crashed, leaving just one survivor. Pratik Joshi, a doctor practicing in London, had come home to visit with his family. They were returning from Ahmedabad when tragedy struck mid-air. Within 30 seconds from takeoff, all 5, Pratik, Komi, their daughter and twin boys, lost their lives in the deadly crash. As the heartbreaking news reached Banaswara, a wave of grief swept across their locality. The family's home is now silent, shrouded in mourning.
दीदी थी कोमी व्यास जी, तो उनकी एक लड़की थी 8 से 10 साल की मीराया जी, तो 2 लड़के थे लवकुश जी।
तो ये आपको
हमको लगभग 1 बजे मिल गई थी।
तो ये कल ही लंदन के लिए
हाँ नहीं, कल यहाँ से अहमदाबाद के लिए रवाना हुआ मॉर्निंग।
जी। तो और परिवार के कोई यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं उनके अभी आपके अलावा?
हाँ, सब वहीं पे हैं।
District Collector Dr. Indrajit Singh Yadav, SP, Harshvardhan Agrawala, and other senior officials rushed to offer condolences.
परिवार के 5 लोगों का नाम कंफर्म हुआ है। दुख की इस घड़ी में परिवार के साथ जिला प्रशासन खड़ा है और हर प्रकार की मदद के लिए हम उनके साथ।
The image of this young family smiling together for one last time now remains as a haunting memory of lives lost far too soon, dreams left mid-flight, and a family that never made it back home.
Now, Air India 171 crashed, all 242 on board dead, with just one lone survivor, of course, from the 242. Casualties on the ground as well. The aircraft tore through a doctor's hostel, but this wasn't just tragic, it was preventable, viewers. This video uncovers 4 major warnings that were ignored before the takeoff. A technical fault on the incoming flight, visible glitches mid-air, multiple regulatory warnings to Air India, and known issues with the Boeing 787. Was this negligence? Watch how we break it down for you.
So many people, they are using these magazines. AC is not working at all. And as usual, your TV screens are also not working. Neither this button for calling the cabin crew. Nothing is working. Nothing. Not even the light is working. See. Is this what you are providing? And as usual, that is why Air India is considered as one of the worst airlines in the world. AC is still not working, and today it is very, very, very hot in Delhi. And we are here for the last 15 minutes, nothing happening. remote isn't working. Nothing is working.
Viewers, the impact, when you see the moment of crash, the ball of fire that appeared, and this entire aircraft was in pieces, one could not have hoped for even one person to have survived, but one person did survive. There's a lone survivor, miraculous escape from this biggest aviation tragedy. And this is a 40-year-old who is a man of Indian origin, but he's a British national. Let's take a listen in as he narrates his ordeal.
कैसे हुआ तो मैंने उसके बारे में बताया और सब हाल चाल पूछा सब, और मेरे नज़रों के सब सामने हुआ था। मेरे खुद को भी बिलीव नहीं होता कि मैं कैसे उसमें से जिंदा बाहर निकला, क्योंकि थोड़ा टाइम लिए कि तो मेरे को लगा था कि मैं भी मरने वाला हूँ, लेकिन जब मेरी आँख खुल के मैं देखा ना तो मुझे लगा मैं जिंदा हूँ। तो मैंने ट्राई किया, जब मेरी सीट थे वो मेरी बेल्ट निकाला, मैंने वो ट्राई किया जहाँ से निकल सकता वहाँ से, तो मैं निकल गया वहाँ से। मेरे नज़रों के सामने एयर हॉस्टल और दूसरे आंटी अंकल सभी उसमें मिस हो गए थे सभी। टेक ऑफ के बाद 1 मिनट के अंदर ही जब टेक ऑफ हुआ ना तो सडनली 5-10 सेकंड कैसे लगा जैसे स्टक हो गया वो। बाद में से मेरे को लगा कि कुछ हुआ, बाद में प्लेन में लाइट ऑन हो गई ग्रीन और वाइट। बाद में वो पता नहीं वो प्लेन टेक ऑफ ज़्यादा करने के लिए वो रेस बोलते हैं क्या, रेस दिया होगा ऐसा कुछ, और सीधा स्पीड में ही घुस गया जहाँ वो क्या था वो हॉस्टल में, और सब सामने सब हुआ। मैं जो साइड पे था ना वो साइड हॉस्टल पे नहीं लैंड हुई थी, हॉस्टल के जो ग्राउंड फ्लोर है ना जैसे नीचे वहाँ लैंड हुई थी। तो मुझे दूसरे के बारे में मेरे को पता नहीं, लेकिन मैं जहाँ लैंड हुआ था ना वो नीचे की साइड थी। तो जब वहाँ थोड़ा पेस भी था प्लेन के जब बाहर, तो जब जैसे मेरा डोर टूटा ना सब, तो मैंने देखा ना जब सामने कि थोड़ा इधर पेस है, मैं ट्राई कर सकता हूँ निकलने के लिए। तो मैंने ट्राई किया निकलने के लिए, तो फिर मैं निकल गया उधर, क्योंकि अपोजिट साइड पे था ना वो बिल्डिंग का वो था ना दीवार, तो उधर से कोई शायद नहीं निकल सका होगा, क्योंकि उधर पूरा उधर ही क्रैश हुआ था। मैं जो जहाँ था वहाँ ही थोड़ा पेस था। फिर भी मेरे पता नहीं मैं कैसे बचा हूँ, क्योंकि मेरे नज़र के सामने ही सब 2 एयर हॉस्टल वो अंकल आंटी सब उधर ही सब। और थोड़ा जब आग लगी ना मेरा लेफ्ट हैंड भी जल गया थोड़ा। फिर एम्बुलेंस मेरे को उठा लेके इधर आया हॉस्पिटल में।
And now let's tell you the story of Anju Sharma. She was on her way to meet her daughter. A joyous homecoming turned into family's worst nightmare. Anju Sharma from Haryana's Kurukshetra was among those who lost their lives in this plane crash. This is the story of a daughter who never returned home.
Inconsolable scenes. A family shattered beyond words. Anju Sharma's aged parents, her relatives all gathered, but without her. Their cries echo through Ram Sharan Majra village in Kurukshetra. A daughter, a mother, a sister lost to the Ahmedabad plane tragedy. Anju, who had been living with her family in Vadodara, was on her way to London to meet her elder daughter Nimmi. A trip filled with excitement ended in utter devastation.
मेरी माँ चली गई, मेरी माँ चली गई, मम्मी और डैडी तो दोनों बैठे बैठे जो भी था उससे दीदी ने सब कुछ और चले गए। वो दोनों उनको नहीं बता सकते बिल्कुल भी कुछ भी, वो चले जाएंगे, एक माँ चलेगी, दोनों ये भी चले जाएंगे।
Her elderly father, a retired army man, bedridden after a brain hemorrhage. Her mother, too unwell to be told the truth.
मेरे फादर-इन-लॉ है, ब्रेन हेमरेज हुआ है, उठ ही नहीं सकते बिस्तर से। मदर हार्ट के पेशेंट हैं मेरे इलाज मेरे हैं, तो उनको तो भी बताया भी नहीं है, ना बताने की पोजीशन है कि कैसे बताएं कि वो उनको ये सदमा बर्दाश्त नहीं कर पाएंगे।
परिवार तो सारा तहस नहस हो गया जी, क्योंकि मेन की घर की परिवार की करता वो थी, तो परिवार हंसता खेलता सारा परिवार था जी। जो भी काम करते हैं यहाँ के परिवार के, वहाँ के परिवार के, सारे उसकी जिम्मेवारी पे ये आते।
The family is struggling to balance grief and protect the parents from more trauma. Her younger daughter provided a DNA sample in Vadodara confirming the worst. The loss is unbearable. The silence in their home is deafening. A final WhatsApp call missed by her sister Neelu, a regret she now carries forever. Anju's final status message was "Aadmi ek khilona hai," a line that now feels heartbreakingly prophetic. She was the eldest of 8 sisters, the one who held the family together. Now, she's the one who's gone too soon. Her relatives and villagers stand shoulder to shoulder as her family prepares to leave for Vadodara to bring her mortal remains back for one final farewell.
The Republic continues to get you these stories, viewers, which are heart-wrenching, but also we continue to raise the most important questions. Of course, big focus on the investigation. We'll get you more on that. But first, we slip into a very, very short break, viewers, but our coverage continues. The Prime Minister took stock of the situation. He also met former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani's family in Ahmedabad today. And he offered his condolences for the demise of Vijay Rupani, who was on board the Air India flight. And we were talking about the investigation. The black box from the crash will be sent to a top international lab, likely in France or the United States, for expert analysis. And India's aviation watchdog to lead this investigation. More on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबां में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल, बोलो जुबां केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
Welcome, you're watching Republic TV with me, Akanksha Khajuria. We are keeping our focus on the biggest plane tragedy in the history of the country. We'll give you more details, but first, as always, the headlines. Air India flight makes emergency landing in Thailand. Bomb threat note found in AI-379 operating today morning from Phuket International Airport to Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Ahmedabad today. He has visited the crash site and met with the injured victims in the hospital. The black box from the crash will be sent to a top international lab, likely in France or the United States, for expert analysis. India's aviation watchdog is leading the probe. Air India under immense scrutiny, 3 flights hit with multiple snags since yesterday.
I want to make clear that I have raised these issues over 3 years. I was ignored. I was told not to create delays. I was told, frankly, to shut up.
Boeing 787 Dreamliner was flawed, and this is what the whistleblower has said. He had sounded alarm early in the year 2024. Was this warning ignored? Israel strikes Iran nuclear plant in a massive escalation in Middle East. Israel has declared a state of emergency. Well, Air India is under major scrutiny. On June 12th, 3 Air India flights reported major technical issues shortly after the takeoff. Flight AI-3416 from Chandigarh to Leh returned to Chandigarh due to low pressure in the green hydraulic pump, later found to be caused by the leak near the nose gear. Flight AI-2410 from Calcutta to Mumbai experienced a bird hit upon landing, resulting in visible dent damage to the nose radome is what we are learning. And meanwhile, the third flight AI-2465 from the national capital to Hyderabad continued to its destination despite both the windshields cracking mid-flight. So these technical snags have come to the fore after the plane crash took place yesterday. 3 technical snags in just 24 hours. All right, let me bring in our guest, Professor Graham Braithwaite, who is the Director of Aerospace and Aviation. Professor of Safety and Accident Investigation Central. He is joining us live from the United Kingdom. Sir, I want to ask you that United Kingdom has also agreed to send their investigation team to India. In fact, what we're learning is that teams have already been sent. I want to first and foremost ask you, what, according to you, led to this plane crash yesterday?
Well, I think at this stage, and our first focus is on the families and loved ones of people who've been affected by this accident, and there's deep sorrow across the industry for what's happened yesterday. But in terms of the investigation focus, they'll be taking a very careful and measured approach at this point. So that investigation is led by the Indian Air Accident Investigation Bureau, and they will be assisted by investigators from the United Kingdom because of the number of people on board, and from the United States of America because that's obviously where the aircraft was manufactured. And they'll be focusing on gathering all of the evidence they can, some of which will be quite perishable. So things like witness testimony can be affected by those people then talking to other people or seeing things on the news. So they want to get hold of that very quickly, and they will want to read out that flight data recorder and listen to the audio recording. And that will help those investigators to figure out what happened here. And I think the discipline of all investigators is not to try and speculate and not to jump to a conclusion. And yet in this accident, we see a lot of people coming forward and drawing a simple conclusion about one thing that they think might have caused the accident. I think the thing we definitely know is that aircraft accidents do not happen because of one thing going wrong. They happen because multiple things must have occurred for it to result in something as tragic as yesterday.
Absolutely. And I also want to ask you, because you've been a professor of safety and accident investigation central, I want to ask you this question because Boeing is also under the scanner. What we're learning is that in 2024, one whistleblower had alerted that there are in fact lapses as far as Boeing 787 is concerned. I want to ask you, are you aware about it, and what do you have to say about that? Because despite that Dreamliner 787 was taking off.
I think we have to be so careful not to jump at things without evidence at this point. And although I'm aware of that whistleblower's remarks, actually there's no evidence at all that is related to what's happened yesterday. In fact, if we look at the 787 as an aircraft, it's been flying for airlines since 2011. There's nearly 1,200 of them flying around the world, and they flew their billionth passenger just recently. And our aircraft has performed all of that and been completely accident-free. There's been no fatal accidents and no what we call hull losses, so no write-offs of aircraft in that time. So actually that performance does speak for itself. Now, we cannot be complacent, and actually the aviation industry prides itself on being very open with its information, encouraging people to report and to do things about it. So even when we hear about events, and you've given 3 examples from this morning, actually those are events that we would anticipate could happen. We plan to make them things that we can deal with safely. If you use that example of the hydraulic system, it's one of 3 independent systems on that aircraft, and it can operate with just one. In the case of the bird strike that you mentioned, then again, the engines are designed to cope with a bird strike, and the aircraft is designed to be able to fly with just one functioning engine. So in the case of this particular accident, until we really know what happened yesterday, I don't think it's helpful at all to try and conclude that it was the aircraft or the crew or any other factor. We have to be led by the evidence.
Absolutely. That all will come out during the investigation. Thank you so much, Professor, for speaking to Republic TV. Now, a smiling family, a final selfie, and a journey that ended in tragedy. 5 members of Joshi family, including 3 young children, lost their life in aviation's history's worst ever plane crash. What remains now is just one haunting photograph and a void that can never be filled. Here's more.
This is the last selfie of the Joshi family. Pratik Joshi, his wife Komi Vyas, and their 3 children, a daughter and twin sons. Smiling just moments before takeoff, a picture full of love, laughter and life, now frozen in time. They were on board the ill-fated Air India flight that crashed, leaving just one survivor. Pratik Joshi, a doctor practicing in London, had come home to visit with his family. They were returning from Ahmedabad when tragedy struck mid-air. Within 30 seconds from takeoff, all five, Pratik, Komi, their daughter and twin boys, lost their lives in the deadly crash. As the heartbreaking news reached Banaswara, a wave of grief swept across their locality. The family's home is now silent, shrouded in mourning.
दीदी थी कोमी व्यास जी, तो उनकी एक लड़की थी 8 से 10 साल की मीराया जी, तो 2 लड़के थे लव कुश जी।
तो ये आपको
उनको लगभग 1 बजे मिल गई थी।
तो ये कल ही लंदन के लिए
हाँ नहीं, कल यहाँ से अहमदाबाद के लिए रवाना हुआ मॉर्निंग जी।
तो और परिवार के कोई यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं उनके अभी आपके अलावा?
हाँ सब वहीं पे हैं।
District Collector Dr. Indrajit Singh Yadav, SP, Harshvardhan Agrawala, and other senior officials rushed to offer condolences.
परिवार के 5 लोगों का नाम कंफर्म हुआ है। दुख की इस घड़ी में परिवार के साथ जिला प्रशासन खड़ा है और हर प्रकार की मदद के लिए हम इनके साथ हैं।
The image of this young family smiling together for one last time now remains as a haunting memory of lives lost far too soon, dreams left mid-flight, and a family that never made it back home.
Now, among the 241 people who lost their life was a prominent figure of Gujarat's political circle. His name is Vijay Rupani. He's been the former Chief Minister of Gujarat who once led the state from the front. He is no more. From Rajkot to Gandhinagar, his journey was one of the resilience. And today, Gujarat mourns not just a leader, but the son of the soil. Listen in.
Dark clouds of grief have engulfed Gujarat. Pall of gloom has shrouded his family. And the nation mourns the loss of one of its stalwart leaders. Former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani is no more. He was on board Air India flight AI-171, the ill-fated aircraft that crashed moments after takeoff in Ahmedabad. Seat number 12, a number considered lucky by the former Chief Minister, that's where he was seated. A seat now etched in the memory as the final stop in the life of a man who once held the reins of Gujarat. Vijay Rupani had served as the 16th Chief Minister of Gujarat from 2016 to 2021. A calm strategist, a loyal party soldier, and a leader known for his soft-spoken yet firm demeanor. Born in Rangoon, Burma in 1956, Rupani's journey from Rajkot to Gandhinagar was one of dedication, perseverance, and deep-rooted commitment to public service. In his final moments, he was travelling to London from the city he once governed, perhaps unaware that fate had scripted a tragic full stop to his life. Today, his family mourns. The BJP stands shaken. The people of Gujarat have lost a son of the soil.
And we can't even, imagine the velocity of the issue. And we can't even imagine that a flight which was taking off, suddenly that too, flight of this caliber, one of the best in the world. Really, it's very sad, and our deepest condolences to all the aggrieved families. And really, to anyone this should not happen, but it has happened. But I think the aviation company has to very seriously, deeply dig into actually what has happened and correct whatever the problems were there in that, what had happened. So I think it's really a very sad day, a black day for the entire world,
President Draupadi Murmu also expressed condolences and grief over the demise of the former Gujarat CM. Taking to her X handle, President Murmu remembered Vijay Rupani as a leader who was always committed to people's welfare. As tributes pour in and condolences echo across party lines, a once bustling voice in Gujarat politics now rests in silence. Former Chief Minister Vijay Rupani gone too soon, but remembered forever.
Now, yesterday at 1:39 p.m., Air India Flight 171 took off from Ahmedabad airport. But what should have been a routine journey turned into an unimaginable disaster. Just moments after the takeoff, the aircraft carrying 242 passengers plummeted to the ground in a crash, one that has left nation reeling with grief and anger. The flames, the smokes, the devastation. These are the images that will haunt you forever. Let me take you through the sequence of event. In fact, this is the moment when the crash took place. As we told you, the flight took off at 1:39 and seconds later, 30 to 35 seconds later, we saw it crashing down, and you can see the smoke in fact coming out from that part of the screen. That was hardly 2 kilometers from the airport. Now, the second image is that of the mess of the hostel where the medical students in fact were having their lunch when this took place. You can see this is the tail of the aircraft which has barged into that hotel mess. Several students have lost their life and several are still reeling from injuries. They are hospitalized. You can see this is the tail of that aircraft that you can see on the screen, and this is the area where there is a medical college, and that specific area is the hostel mess where children were having their meal when this shocking incident in fact took place. You can see rescue operation there underway. This is the tail of that aircraft that has gone deep inside the building right there in the medical college. Let's keep showing you these visuals of, in fact, this is now the visual of the fin of the plane recovered outside the doctor's hostel. You can see this is the long fin of the plane with the logo of Air India as well. This is a red and white fin that you can see on the screen. And this entire area, in fact, is that of the BJ Medical College, where, in fact, the students were having their lunch when this incident took place. Very, very shocking visuals which have come to the fore. The next video is of that thick plume of black smoke captured on camera, and this was moments after that tragic incident took place. 1:39 is when that flight took off. 30 to 35 seconds later, it came crashing down, and the thick black smoke is something that was something that alerted the authorities as well. You can see the panic in that area because of that smoke, and the rescue operation underway. These are the visuals from the last afternoon. Now let's tell you about a married British couple who lost their lives in the plane crash. Moments before boarding the ill-fated Air India flight, they posted about their magical experience in the country. And in the video, the couple was seen laughing and joking around. Here's more.
In the airport, just boarding. Goodbye, India.
Goodbye, India. Going back happily, happily calm. Their voices full of joy, hearts full of memories. These were the final words of a British couple moments before boarding the ill-fated Air India flight. Fiongal and Jamie Greenlaw-Me captured their happy moments on camera, laughing, sharing inside jokes from their journey across the country, not knowing that tragedy was just moments away.
We are in the airport, just boarding. Goodbye, India.
A day before the incident, they had shared another video calling their India trip magical and mind-blowing.
So it's our last night in India, and and we've had a magical experience, really. There's been some quite mind-blowing.
Back in London, the couple ran a spiritual wellness center, healing others, their lives full of purpose. In 2020, Jamie popped the question, presenting Fiongal with a striking emerald ring. 2 years later, they tied the knot, sealing their bond in a quiet ceremony surrounded by friends and family. But their journey ended in tragedy. Two souls who believed in light, taken away too soon. The world has lost a love story mid-flight.
Goodbye, India.
And Republic TV has also spoken to the eyewitnesses of the event. Listen in to what they said.
इस वक्त हमारे साथ जो टीम मौजूद है वो ना ही सिर्फ डॉक्टर्स की टीम के साथ रहते हैं, इसके अलावा भी जो है इन लोग इस बीएल हॉस्पिटल के अंदर, जिसके अंदर ये इतना बड़ा हादसा हुआ है, जिसके अंदर 241 लोगों की जान गई है, उसमें से कई लोगों को इन लोगों ने अपनी जान पे जोखिम में डाल करके बचाया है। अच्छा, मुझे ये बताएं, जब ये दुर्घटना हुई उस वक्त आप अंदर गए, है ना, क्या देखा? कई लाशें लेकर आए, आप बाहर आए?
अंदर गए तब तक तो ऑलमोस्ट सब कामगिरी चालू थी और हम एम्बुलेंस लेके मतलब जो भी बॉडीज़ थी उनको डायरेक्ट हम ट्रॉमा सेंटर में पहुंचा रहे थे, ट्रॉमा और पुराने ट्रॉमा में। जब तक ट्रॉमा सेंटर था, जब फुल हो गया तब हम पुराने ट्रॉमा में पहुंचा रहे थे। सब डेड बॉडी देखने की हालत नहीं थी, वैसे देखा जाए तो इतनी बुरी हालत थी बॉडीज़ की कि पहचान में भी नहीं आ रही थी कि किसका पाँव है या किसका सर है, कुछ भी मतलब इस टाइप से बुरी हालत थी और पूरा मेडिकल स्टाफ इसमें लगा पड़ा था।
अच्छा, दुर्घटना जिस वक्त होती है उसके कितनी देर बाद आप वहाँ पे पहुँचे? जिस वक्त आप पहुँचे, पहला सवाल। दूसरा, जब जिस वक्त आप पहुँचे तो क्या लोग जिंदा थे, बुरी हालत में थे? जब उनको हॉस्पिटल ले आया गया तब उनकी मौत होती है, या फिर जब दुर्घटना होती है उसी वक्त फ़ौरन मौत हो जाती है?
नहीं, दुर्घटना होती है उसी वक्त, ज़्यादातर तो मौतें हो चुकी थी बराबर। और मैं पहुँचा मतलब जिस टाइम ये हादसा हो उसके विथिन 30 मिनट्स या 1 आवर्स में पहुंच गया था मैं इधर बराबर। एम्बुलेंस के साथ ही पहुंचा था मैं।
जैसे एम्बुलेंस निकलने लगी, हम सब लोग बैठ के एम्बुलेंस के लिए साथ इधर आ गए, क्योंकि 1200 बेड बाजू में ही है। तो सबसे पहले हमारा फर्ज बनता है कि हम इधर आकर मदद करें सबकी।
आप लोगों ने मिलकर कितने लोगों का रेस्क्यू किया होगा?
ज़्यादातर देखा जाए तो कम से कम 20-25 बोरियाँ तो हम ले के गए थे इधर से।
यहाँ पर लगभग कितने डॉक्टर्स रहते थे? रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर्स, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर्स कितने रहते थे?
कंफर्म नहीं कहा जा सकता क्योंकि ये रेसिडेंटल एरिया है, मतलब जो बच्चे पढ़ते हैं विजय मेडिकल कॉलेज में, जो स्टूडेंट्स पढ़ते हैं उनका है। कभी कभी कोई होता भी है, कोई ज़्यादातर नहीं भी होते, मेस में खाने के लिए आते हैं यहाँ। और ज़्यादातर इनका रेसिडेंटल एरिया है, मतलब उनके रूम्स भी है इधर।
अच्छा, हमने देखा यहाँ पे कि कुछ डॉक्टर्स जो है वो आए और इस बिल्डिंग के अंदर गए, वहाँ से अपने जो उनके मटेरियल्स थे, सामान थे, बैगेजेस थे, ट्रॉलीज थी, वो गए हैं, लेकर आए हैं, अपने सामान को खाली करके जा रहे हैं। कैसा महसूस होता है?
टफ तो होगा ना सर, क्योंकि किसी की मतलब इस टाइप से मौत होनी बहुत टफ होता है।
ये जो हादसा हुआ उसमें किसी को आप जानते थे पर्सनली जो किस हॉस्टल में रहते?
2 दोस्त थे मेरे जो इधर चाबी लेने आए थे और डायरेक्ट ही, लेकिन उनको जैसे ही मालूम चला ऊपर आग में सब चिल्लाने लगे, मतलब जैसे कि चीखे वो सुनने लगे। तो उन्होंने बोला कि क्या हुआ है। जब तक वो लिफ्ट से ऊपर गए दूसरे माले से, मतलब लिफ्ट बंद हो गई थी, फिर दूसरे माले पे अचानक से उन्होंने एकदम से लिफ्ट खोली और वो दोनों कूद गए।
एम्बुलेंस से थोड़ा आगे बढ़ते हैं तो ज़रा इस तरफ स्पॉट की तरफ आते हैं, ज़रा आगे आइए। मुझे ज़रा बताइए कि यहाँ पर जिस वक्त जो है ये दुर्घटना हुई उस वक्त आप वहाँ पे पहुँचे तो किस किस फ्लोर पे जो है वहाँ पर आपको लोग मिले, लाश मिली? वहाँ पर
फ्लोर से लाश नहीं मिली, वो हम
मेस के पास देखा?
मेस के पास कुछ नहीं देखा, लेकिन नीचे जितनी भी लाशें निकाल रहे थे वो हम रेस्क्यू कर रहे थे ज़्यादातर, इसलिए उधर से निकाली वो हमारे ध्यान में नहीं आया है, लेकिन रेस्क्यू ऑलमोस्ट हम वैसे ही कर रहे थे।
This is the biggest aviation tragedy in the history of the country. We have also got the aerial video of the hostel that was in fact completely destroyed yesterday. The plane crashed into the BJ Medical College. Several students in fact have received injuries. Several students are also dead. Let me take you through that visual that you can in fact see on the screen. That is the visual of the BJ Medical College where the plane crashed yesterday. It appears that this video was shot right after the incident took place, because you can see the rescue operation being carried out there. Rescue team, NDRF there on the spot as well. And the entire structure of the medical college there in shambles. This entire building, in fact, few parts of it also caught fire after the plane crashed into the building. And most shockingly, this was the time when several students, several medical college students, in fact, were having their meal. They were in the middle of having their lunch when a plane crashed into the mess of this medical college, leaving several students dead and several injured as well. A very shocking visuals that you can see on the screen. Now, in the middle of the crash chaos, two brothers, Prince and Krish, emerged as heroes. They were entering the building from the back gate when the accident happened. Now, without a second thought, they rushed in to help and save the lives. And the building, which housed around 600 medical students, became the site of this brave rescue effort. Here's more.
क्या कुछ आपने देखा उस टाइम?
मैं पीछे की साइड से एंटर ही होने वाला था और आगे देखा तो आग प्लेन क्रैश हो चुका था आगे के गेट पे और धुआं आ रहा था। मेरे को लगा कि ब्लैक सारा काला काला हो चुका। मेरे को लगा मौसम ख़राब होगा, इसके लिए मैं आगे जाके देखा तो प्लेन क्रैश हुआ। तो तुरंत ही मैंने मेरे फ्रेंड्स को कॉल किया, फिर मेरे कज़िन ब्रदर को कॉल किया और हम लोग ने मिलके सबसे पहले जहाँ कैंटीन में स्टूडेंट्स लंच कर रहे थे वहाँ पे जाके हम लोग गए और देखा तो वहाँ पे प्लेन का आगे का हिस्सा, पायलट का और सब हिस्सा आगे पड़ा था। पायलट का हमने बॉडीज़ नहीं देखी और जहाँ स्टूडेंट्स खा रहे थे उनके ऊपर दीवार पड़ी हुई थी और दीवार के ऊपर सूटकेस, पैसेंजर्स के सूटकेस पड़े हुए थे। तो हमने सूटकेस हटा के और दीवार हटा के देखा तो निकाले, कई सारे स्टूडेंट्स हमने निकाले। किसी के हाथ में खाना खाते खाते चम्मच रह चुकी थी, किसी का ब्रेन फट चुका था, ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स थे।
मतलब ये आपने अपने सामने देखी है सर?
हमारे सामने हमने खुद ने रेस्क्यू किए, मेरे ग्रुप ने मिल।
उस मेस में मतलब आप उस बिल्डिंग में आना जाना आपका रहता होगा तो वहाँ पे
रास्ता शॉर्टकट हमारा।
तो कितने लोग वहाँ पे रहते हैं थे स्टूडेंट?
500 से 600 जन रहते हैं।
तो इन कितने होंगे स्टूडेंट्स लगभग?
वहाँ पे लंच खा रहे थे, वहाँ पे एक स्टूडेंट ने मेरे को बताया जो जिंदा था और सबको रेस्क्यू भी करा। उसने मेरे को इतना बताया कि मैंने पूछा कितने लोग थे अंदर, तो उसने इतना बताया मेरे को कि 70 जन थे अंदर, 70% थे।
70 में क्या लग रहा है कितने बचे हो?
अभी मेरे को सुनने में आया कि 4 जन की डेथ हो चुकी है। कल 2 जन की डेथ हो चुकी थी। 4 जन की आज सुनने में आया कि 4 हुए। अभी कितने, अभी बहुत ज़्यादा सीरियस है। हमने 15-20 निकाले उसमें से। तो
और क्रिश, आप भी वहाँ पे ही मौजूद थे उस दौरान। आपने कैसे, मतलब वो विमान, पहले तो नॉर्मल जैसे हम देखते हैं कि कोई विमान उड़ रहा है सामने से उड़ता है तो हम देखने लगते हैं कि चलो विमान उड़ रहा है, वो देख रहे होंगे, सोचा ही नहीं होगा कि ये अचानक से इस तरह से आग का गुब्बारा में तब्दील हो जाएगा ये?
हाँ, हमारे घर के पास ही एयरपोर्ट है तो वहाँ पे टेक ऑफ और लैंडिंग बहुत नज़दीक से होता है। बट ये जो प्लेन क्रैश हुआ है बहुत ही ज़्यादा नज़दीक से हमारे घर के ऊपर से ही गया और एकदम से 10-15 सेकंड के आगे ही जाके प्लेन गिरा और वहाँ पे सब फ्लेम और स्मोक हो गया था चारों तरफ और धुआं तो हो गए थे और सारी पब्लिक दौड़ के वहाँ पे देखने जा रही थी और सब में डर का माहौल था कि ये इतना बड़ा हादसा क्या हो गया और बहुत ज़ोर से धमाका हुआ था वहाँ पे।
और आप जी,
हमारे वहाँ के लोकल पब्लिक ऐसा बोलने लगी कि पायलट के अंदर भगवान आ चुके कि आम पब्लिक की जान बचा ली है उसने। खाली जगह देख के ऐसा न्यूज़ सब जगह देखने में आ रहा है और आर्मी, पुलिस ने सबने भी ऐसा कहा कि पायलट ने खाली जगह देख के प्लेन ऐसे टच करा है, वरना उसको क्या मालूम था कि यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स और डॉक्टर्स है।
We're taking a very short break. Coming up on the other side, Air India under immense scrutiny. 3 flights hit multiple snags since yesterday. And we'll also tell you about how Boeing 787 Dreamliner was flawed, and this is what the whistleblower had said. He had sounded alarm in 2024. Now the questions are being asked, was this warning ignored? We'll get you details on these top stories after this very short break. Stay with us.
Amity University has one of India's largest merit scholarship programs for brilliant students. Over 9,000 students with 90% plus in their 12th boards are currently at Amity, benefiting from the culture of academic excellence and focus on research and innovation. To be with like-minded students who want to be successful, Apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
विमल में गुलिस्तां के ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुलें तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की जुबान में खुद को ऐसे डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं? विमल, बोलो जुबान कैसी?
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Welcome to Republic TV. I'm Rhythm and our top focus is going to be on the crash and why it happened. Now details that are coming in, viewers. The black box is going to be sent to an international lab to ensure that every detail of the crash is found out. It's going to be followed by investigation by our top watchdog, but all those details right here coming up after the headlines on Republic TV. And our top headlines as we are speaking today, Air India flight makes an emergency landing. This after a bomb threat found in LAV of AI-379 operating today morning from Phuket to Delhi. Prime Minister Modi in Ahmedabad visits crash site, meets injured victims in the hospital. The black box from the crash will be sent to top international lab like in France or in the United States for expert analysis. India's aviation watchdog leading the probe. Air India under immense scrutiny. 3 flights are hit with multiple snags yesterday.
I want to make clear that I have raised these issues over 3 years. I was ignored. I was told not to create delays. I was told, frankly, to shut up.
Boeing 787 Dreamliner was flawed. Whistleblower sounded alarm early in the year 2024. Why was his warning ignored? And another big story, Israel strikes Iran nuclear plant in massive escalation in the Middle East. Israel declared state of emergency. And our top focus, the breaking news that's coming in viewers, the forensic team of the Gujarat police collected several pieces of evidence from the scene. They also found a digital video recording, the DVR that was taking them from the crash site that is going to be helping them for further investigation. The police have recovered key evidences from the crash site. They've also taken the very crucial DVR that they found there right now from the crash site, and other evidence has been collected to get more details about what happened in this ill-fated tragedy that took place. Forensic team finds DVR from the crash site. As we are giving you those details, the digital video recorder has been recovered from the wreckage of the plane that had crashed. First, let's go and listen to our colleague Akil speaking to the forensic expert in Ahmedabad.
ये FSL बताएगा आपको।
सर खड़े रह जाइए। उन्होंने क्या-क्या जो एविडेंस है वो गैदर किया स्पॉट से?
DVR अंदर का मैक्स का नहीं, वो देखना पड़ेगा कौन सा है, मलबे में से निकला है।
आपके हाथ में जो सामान है वो क्या है? आपके हाथ में जो सामान है वो क्या है? आपके हाथ में जो सामान है
ये DVR है। मलबे में से निकला है? नहीं, वो मलबे में से निकला है। प्लीज मेरा ये काम नहीं है। नहीं, ये मेरा काम नहीं है, ये दूसरा काम।
This was a forensic team that has collected evidence from the ground zero. Was just speaking to us, and he was giving us the details. And he has said that from that very spot, he has recovered a DVR as well.
क्या निकला ये बता पाएंगे? ये FSL बताएगा आपको।
सर खड़े रह जाइए। उन्होंने क्या-क्या जो एविडेंस है वो गैदर किया स्पॉट से?
DVR अंदर का मैक्स का नहीं, वो देखना पड़ेगा कौन सा है, मलबे में से निकला है।
आपके हाथ में जो सामान है वो क्या है? आपके हाथ में जो सामान है वो क्या है? आपके हाथ में जो सामान है
ये DVR है। मलबे में से निकला है? नहीं, वो मलबे में से निकला है। प्लीज मेरा ये काम नहीं है। नहीं, ये मेरा काम नहीं है, ये दूसरा काम।
This was a forensic team that has collected evidence from the ground zero. Was just speaking to us, and he was giving us the details. And he has said that from that very spot, he has recovered a DVR as well.
Akil joins us live now. Akil, you're at the crash site. You're trying to also see around who's there. Keep continuously tracking, Akil, like you are who's there. Since last night, you've been there. Akil, the DVR was found amid the debris of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, which went down after takeoff. You tried to speak with the people and the authorities there. It's going to be taken to the FSL labs. Give us details about what's happening at the crash site. What is being collected, what evidence has already been collected, and what sort of investigation is being done at the crash site, Akil?
Well, Rhythm, if you see right now, the investigation part is on, and to investigate the entire matter, the investigating team has to cover some details, and to get to the exact details that what actually transpired at that point in time, they have to first get to the get the black box, and in that black box, the most of the data will be recovered from that point. And the second thing that they can analyze is through the CCTV footages. And Rhythm, if you see right now, I would like to request my Vijay to show you the upscale, the visuals over here, and you show you the ground zero situation. So any flight which basically crosses from this very site, you can easily see, because the hospital at which the aircraft crash incident took place is just at a distance of 6 kilometers. So just to take part in that investigation, if you see, there were several CCTV cameras that were installed in this very college. Behind me, you can see the visual of BL Medical College. There are several CCTV cameras installed on the different floors of this very building. When the aircraft basically crashed, there was a head-on collision of that aircraft with this very building. And in that, what we have got to learn that the AC over there, the window shields over there, window pans over there, apart from the gates over there, so all got dismantled from its original structure. So what has happened, that the forensic team have collected evidence. So if you see the DVR is of the CCTV installed in that very building of the BL Medical College. It's not any part of the Boeing 737 aircraft. That's the second part. Third part, if you see right now, the team which is the team which is investigating the entire case is also trying to look at from the angle of ATC as well. That at what point, at what location, basically the aircraft loses its communication with the ATC. Because if you see, when that incident took place, the location over here is at a distance of 6 kilometers. So what has happened, that at an altitude of over 650 feet, there was a collapse, and after that we can certainly saw the free fall last night and yesterday itself at around 1:39 p.m. When you see Rhythm, what has happened, that when the flight took off at around 1:39 p.m. and after that, after 30 seconds, it basically there was a blast and it fell from there was a meteoric fall from the sky, and after that, what we have seen, that in that very incident, 242 people who were on board, out of that 242 people, one person is alive, who is still being treated at the Civic Hospital. Apart from that, what we have seen, that 241 people have died, in which, if you see, 169 people are Indian citizens. Apart from that, if you see, there are 53 citizens from the United Kingdom, 7 were Portuguese citizens, and 1 was a Canadian citizen. So right now, those students who were basically the PGS students of this BL Medical College are still being treated at the very hospital in the Civic Body Hospital. Back to you.
All right, thank you for giving us those details. Akhil, it's a top focus we'll track. We'll be with you again. Meanwhile, I also want to go across and share a report of my colleague Gopi. She earlier spoke to Dr. J.P. Pillai, forensic dentist, who's doing the DNA of the testing, the teeth also. Listen in. And as I'm going to try and go across to that, I also want to, yes.
What is the status like? Which is the stage where we are at?
So we are basically we are dental surgeons. We are working in a government dental college, and I am a forensic dentist. So my area domain is only for dental identification. See, dentistry in dental field we show that the teeth are unique in characteristics, and that characteristics we try to record and try to match with the antemortem dental record if available. So it's not guaranteed that all the 135 cases post-mortem we gathered, we are going to get that antemortem dental records. We are doing our best so that at least some bodies are handed over to the next of the kin.
So how much time is this process going to take? Any expectation from the report?
Dental identification is actually the fastest way of identification, provided the antemortem records are available. Antemortem record doesn't mean that the person should have gone to a dental surgeon. Even a selfie photograph, which I mentioned, a person, today's world we are in social media and people have post the selfie photographs. So a small gap between the two teeth also could be one concordant point. We see in the dead body, there is one gap between two central incisors. So that if I am able to match it, that one point is enough to prove the identity. It's very fast.
So how many more DNA samples are pending?
That, that I cannot answer, madam, because still I am hearing that there are some cases which have to be done. The autopsy procedures are pending. So if they call, then we will go for them to assist. Yesterday, my dental team, thanks to the support of my dental college dean and the forensic medicine department, they have supported us, and all the PG students in my dental college, they were all together from 3 p.m. till 4:30 a.m. We were working continuously on collecting the dental records of the victims. It's a very pathetic situation, but how far dentistry can help in giving justice to the identification, we are doing our best.
Right now, the black box decoding is to be conducted at neutral high capability lab. The AAIB is a leading independent investigation following the ICAO's Annex 13 guidelines that's going to be conducting this investigation. Black box decoding is to be conducted at a neutral high capability lab, probably at the BEA France or the NTSB USA. They had already spoken about it yesterday. The United States said they would be sending a team here and they would want to be helping out in this investigation. BCAS will also be involved in the case of suspected sabotage or tinkering, and that's the crucial bit of information coming in. A neutral lab will be decoding the black box of the crash site. The black box analysis is also to be done at the BEA in France or at the NTSB lab in the United States of America. We're going to go across to Aditya, who's joining us live on this top focus. It's very crucial to understand that the black box, Aditya, is important. The flight data recorder, the cockpit voice recorder are critical for investigation. This is actually located in the rear of the plane. Give us more details that you have.
Yeah, these three important developments which came up today from a very highly praised source from the ministry has confirmed these major developments which are there, which are happening, which are ongoing. Now, the first thing about the black box is that about the investigation, about the decodation, which is said to be done in somewhere in a neutral state of place. Now, which is important, which is paramount, considering about this scale and size of this accident which happened yesterday. Now, the black box will actually make us aware about what happened, what transpired, how and where it fell short, and what might be the way forward to analyze and actually to find it out what can be the exact precise reason for how this came to this place where we have lost 241 lives on board. Now, this is a very crucial development coming in for the fact that the development of actually decoding will be in a very neutral state and not in any state specific to any corporate or company.
That's right.
Where they belong.
Aditya, I thank you for being with us. Viewers, the top focus is going to be in just 59 seconds. Everything changed. What began as a routine flight filled with excited families, first-time flyers, last-minute goodbye texts turned into an unthinkable tragedy. As AI-171 took off, some passengers were heading to home, others took off for summer vacations, none of them knowing it would be their final journey. This video reconstructs the final moment by moment, from the unusual dip at 14 seconds to the explosion at 30 seconds. No landed safely messages followed. Instead, chaos unfolded on the ground. Hospitals, families waiting, lives shattered. Survivors speak, only one missing the flight by just hours, another saved by traffic, one more who jumped. This is more than a crash. It's a story of loss, fate, the fragile seconds that changed everything.
In-flight entertainment was not working. Then after and as usual the in-flight entertainment is not working. Leave in-flight entertainment. Calculator landing stations. If I talk about this light, it is also not working. If I press this cabin crew button, it's not working either. Nothing is working. Nothing at all. We are almost about to taxi, but this AC is not working. Look at everyone, and it's so many people. They are using these magazines. AC is not working at all. And as usual, your TV screens are also not working. Neither this button for calling the cabin crew. Nothing is working. Nothing. Not even the light is working. See, is this what you are providing? And as usual, that is why Air India is considered as one of the worst airlines in the world. AC is still not working, and today it is very, very, very hot in Delhi.
Chavan, can you hear me? आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hearing that you missed that flight, what time was the flight takeoff scheduled for?
The takeoff time was around 1:10.
1:10?
Yes.
And how many minutes did you miss the flight by?
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Only 10 minutes.
And
just because of 10 minutes, I'm not able to travel.
You know, I don't know what to tell you, Bhumiji, but you know, it's one of those things. It's intervention, perhaps intervention that you were not on that flight. But you know, I hope you're praying for everyone else on that flight.
Definitely, I'm completely devastated after hearing all this loss.
Yes.
And my body is literally shivering.
breaking news coming in. Republic now accesses a new video of the moment of the crash. It shows people running, screaming as plumes of smoke are seen. Akhil, I want to go across to you to give more details of this. We're already starting to see the moments, what happened. The video shows the plane that was flying, and then we're now seeing pictures after those earlier videos of that plane that burst into flame. We are now seeing those pictures of the black smoke, thick black smoke. All right, we're going to now go across to breaking news that's coming in of the black box. Breaking news and exclusive pictures coming in of the black box that has been recovered. Viewers, we're going to give you those detailed pictures that are coming in right now. This is pictures of the black box that has been recovered. We're also telling you this is what that's going to be. This black box is going to decode and give us details about what exactly happened that led to this lapse. Now, the site was one of total devastation. There was burnt debris, scattered aircraft pieces, there was smoldering, there was evidence everywhere. But this is the black box that is going to really give us more details about what really happened and what caused the Boeing Dreamliner to crash shortly after takeoff on Thursday afternoon. Let me go across to Abhishek, who's also joining us. Details. Abhishek, give us more details. The most crucial piece of evidence, the black box, Abhishek, pictures on the screen, it has been recovered.
Well, yes, and Rhythm, this is the equipment that has been fished out by the relief and rescue teams of the local administration there. And it says emergency locator transmitter. So if not the entire black box, this is a key component of the black box. And we should be telling our viewers that this was fished out. This particular component was fished out at about 1:30 p.m. And this was done by AMC, which is the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation, its fire team. And this was located at the tail of the aircraft. And it was taken out of the tail of the aircraft. And we are told that the local administration is now waiting for the DGCA and the Aircraft Accidents Investigation Board, AAIB teams, to hand this equipment over to them. Of course, the Air India team and everyone else is going to get involved. Remember, we have spoken about how the NTSB, which is the United States National Transportation Safety Board, they are getting involved, how the Boeing teams are coming in. And this black box now recovered and in custody of the local authorities there in Gujarat. The Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation fire team taking it out. Look at the pictures. That those are the teams that are there. And they have taken it out, and you can see that. As I said, this is, if not exactly the entire black box, this is a key component of the black box, which says that it is the emergency locator transmitter with antenna detached. And this is, again, is part of the mechanism by which you locate a lost aircraft. And this has recording in it, and it has crucial flight data in it. And so obviously this would be handed over to the concerned authorities of the AAIB or the DGCA. Remember, Rhythm, we have, I believe there is an in-principle decision taken by the Ministry of Civil Aviation that the forensic analysis of this equipment is going to be done either in France or the United States. An emergency locator transmitter is a device that transmits a signal to help rescuers locate a crashed aircraft, essentially. So obviously, if not the entire black box, as I mentioned, this is a key component of the black box, and the pictures of which we are putting it on air. And these are this equipment now, which is going to help piece together the last moment of the ill-fated AI-171, which crashed outside of Ahmedabad airport last evening, is going to be handed over to the investigators of the AAIB first, and then, of course, wherever the authorities take it to. And because the internal battery is designed to be on the air for more than 48 hours, the battery issue, in the sense that Rhythm, essentially, this is something which helps locate the exact place to where the aircraft is, and next to it is the black box. So obviously, the authorities now have the black box with them, and this another piece of equipment, which is part of the larger black box assembly, also now located and being handed over to the AAIB as soon as the authorities can connect with them.
On Republic TV, and I want to explain to our viewers, essentially the black box is a magic box. It's like an X-ray machine that's completely revealing hundreds and thousands of parameters from engine start to engine shutdown, depending upon the sophistication of the aircraft and the flight data recorder. It's made of two parts, like Abhishek was telling us. This is the FDR and the CVR. CVR is the multi-track audio recorder that continuously captures every audible sound in the cockpit, what the pilot said, when the mayday was announced. And the FDR records the aircraft system, the flight data, when there was what the control surfaces, the flaps, elevator, rudder, what happened with the airspeed, the engine performance, whether there was any engine shutdown, and all those details are there. Of course, like the picture on the screen, it's not black, and the reason is it's bright yellow, this time it's bright orange. This is to assist in locating the box after the accident. Like Abhishek is telling us, the municipal department in Ahmedabad has got it. Before, airlines made it day glow orange, but now this is the black box that is crucial. And now we're also going, thank you Abhishek for joining us. We're slipping into a break. On the other side of this break, on Live in Breaking, we get you more details on the recovery of the black box, how it's going to now be traveling, and the investigation is going to be assisted either in France or in the United States. India is going to ensure the black box that holds critical flight data is giving us the reasons for this crash. Much more after a short break. Stay on with us.
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबान में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans.
पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते।
सर फैंस है, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना।
नए वाले नहीं करते। And they listen to what I say. The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
सिली में आए तो और
Cricket fans.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
Republic TV, we have a big breaking news coming in. The black box of that flight that crashed yesterday has been recovered. This is the breaking news that we are getting for you. This will give us details and crucial details about the data of that flight and what actually went wrong. And this will also help in strengthening the probe in this case. Remember, since yesterday, since last night, combing operations were underway. In fact, there were multiple agencies combing through that area and trying to find the black box out, and now it has been recovered from the spot. In fact, we are showing you visuals of the black box there on the screen. This will in fact hold crucial data which will help in identifying what actually went wrong. Was it did something go wrong on the behalf of the pilot, or was it aircraft's fault, or what? It was a combination of both, something that will come out after it is sent for testing. Let me go across to my colleague Akhil, who joins us live on the broadcast from that crash site. Akhil, what we are learning is that the black box has been recovered. We have the exclusive photos of the black box as well. Tell us how this will be crucial as far as the investigation in this case is concerned.
Well, that's right, Akanksha. If you see, we have got the exclusive footage of that black box part, which Abhishek has shown us to us. So, in that, if you can see, if you just talk about the black box functioning, what we know so far, that in such an apparatus, it's not easy to understand and decipher that how basically it functions. But if you talk about the larger picture, so basically, black box is something which basically gives you or deciphers for you all the things. Basic things regarding the velocity and the momentum of an aircraft. Apart from that, at what altitude that flight was basically at that point in time. Apart from that, if you see, you can also get the details that regarding at what point in time it lost the communication with the ATC, which is a very resourceful part to get the communication from the air traffic control. So all those crucial details regarding the aircraft is basically being collected inside the black box. So that is not going to give all the data, because if you see in this very investigation, it's going to be an amalgamation of different organizations to give us the details, and then only once the report will come out, then only the things will be clearer. And let me just give you a brief explanation of that, because apart from that, if you see, the ATC will also have to give some details regarding the communication part, because at what point in time that communication was missed with the aircraft. Because if you see, the flight took off at around 1:39 p.m. and within 30 seconds, what we have seen that the flight basically which took a projectile. We exactly don't know that what was the projectile. This will come out in the investigation. But if you talk about the momentum, what was the momentum at that point in time? If you just talk about the mass of a Boeing aircraft, it is approximately 41,500 kg approximately, and depending on the passengers as well, the crew members as well, as we all know that that there were 242 people inside that aircraft. And if you talk about the velocity of an aircraft, a Boeing 737 generally flies at a highest speed, which is approximately 491 km per hour. So if you just, this is simple physics. Momentum is mass into velocity. So if you just calculate the momentum of this very aircraft when that incident took place, that was pretty high. So that could be one of the reasons that why at that point in time the pilot basically lost the control with the ATC. So these things will be the amalgamation of the entire report that will come out at a later stage when the black box data. Apart from that, what we see that there is a call recording in the cockpit as well. So that is the device which basically communicate with the ATC. So these are the critical areas which will give all the details. So once those details will be submitted, then only we'll get to know that what has come out in the report. For that, we will have to give more time to the investigative agencies to come out with some solid credentials. Back to
Absolutely, you. Akhil, and also tell us about what next now. Now that the black box has been recovered, what is the procedure next? Because we're learning that DGCA will now send this for analysis, most likely abroad. Tell us more about that.
Well, absolutely, Akanksha. If you see, analysis of black box will be done on one side. Apart from that, there have been multiple elements, multiple objects that have been collected from the debris site. Here you can see, I would like to move a little bit forward and show you the visual of this BL Medical College. So what has happened when that head-on collision took place with that building of the BL Medical College? After that, what we have seen that there were wreckages that have been found from the very site, and after that, what we have seen that the two different forensic units have arrived over there. They have collected several evidences from the various spot, and those details will basically give the edge to those investigative agencies to get to the nose that what actually transpired at that point in time. Because if you just see the visuals of the ground zero when that incident took place, when we went inside this very hospital at the spot, there we could not find the cockpit, which is basically the command and control center of an aircraft. We could not find the actual structure of the jet engine, which basically generate thrust. We could not even find the wings because generally, if you see in each aircraft, there are two wings, one on the right and one on the left, and that basically helps in generating lift. So all those parts were broken, all those parts were shattered. If you talk about the vertical stabilizer, so vertical stabilizer basically help in controlling your. If you talk about the horizontal stabilizer, it basically helps in controlling pitch. So these are the basically parts which give details, the very important and crucial and chronic details regarding an aircraft. So for those details to be basically come in tandem, and after that, what we will get to know that the ATC, apart from that, the DGCA, apart from that, if you see the local team of the municipal corporation, Ahmedabad municipal corporation team has also been part of this entire investigation, because they are the one who are the foot soldiers over here. They have collected all the materials and evidences from the ground zero, and those evidences, those wreckages that have been found from the ground zero will be very crucial to get the details, because if you see, there are several CCTV cameras installed just outside the premises and inside the premises of this very BL Medical College. So those CCTV cameras, DVRs have already been recovered by the forensic team. So that will also be culminated in the investigation, that they will take into account that how this entire mishap took place, and when what was that knocking point when that this entire incident unfolded, and the pilot and the first pilot in this case has lost the control of the aircraft.
Absolutely. So the multi-agency inspection.
ये है secret recipe MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला. सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल और जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप.
विमल में गुलिस्तां के ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुलें
Wilson has met Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In fact, they both spoke of the measure taken by Air India in the aftermath of the crash. PM Modi, in fact, told the Air India CEO to take all necessary, to in fact give all necessary help to the families of the victim. The meeting between them went on for 20 minutes. Both Prime Minister and Air India CEO are in Gujarat right now. They have visited the spot. They've also visited the civil hospital where their injured are admitted and bodies are lying. Let me go across to my colleague Gopi, who continues to give us live updates from the civil hospital in Ahmedabad. Gopi, we are learning that just a while back, in fact, Air India CEO met with the Prime Minister. They both spoke about the measures taken as far as this crash is concerned. This meeting lasted between them for 20 minutes. All right, we are also getting in another breaking news. UK High Commissioner has also met with the Prime Minister, and he has met the Prime Minister in Gujarat. We told you last night that UK High Commissioner has landed in Gujarat. Firstly, he went to the crash site and also to the civil hospital. Back-to-back meetings that Prime Minister is holding with the Aviation Minister, Air India CEO, and also the UK High Commissioner. Remember, UK has also joined the investigation into the plane crash. They have sent their multiple teams for the investigation in this case. Yesterday, UK Prime Minister also tweeted about this plane crash incident. And this is very important because there were as many as 53 passengers on the flight. And they all, what we're learning, have lost their life. And after that, UK High Commissioner is meeting with the Prime Minister. What are the updates of the meeting is something we'll get to know in just some moment. But back-to-back meeting, Prime Minister is conducting since morning. He has landed in the state of Gujarat. First stop was the place where the crash took place, and the second stop was in fact the civil hospital in Ahmedabad. He met with the families of those who lost their life in this incident, and also the lone survivor of this incident. But very importantly, he has been holding back-to-back meetings with the top officials of Gujarat, with the High Commissioner of UK, with the Air India CEO. As we've been telling you, he took all the details from the Air India CEO as well, asking him to give all necessary help to the families of those who have lost their lives. So back-to-back meeting by the Prime Minister there. All right, so this is a big breaking news we are getting for you. As we told you, UK High Commissioner has just met with the Prime Minister. Both of them are in Gujarat right now. Their meeting is, in fact, what we're learning, it's not happening right now. They have met and the meeting is over. But this meeting is quite crucial because there were as many as 53 passengers on that ill-fated flight that crashed yesterday. And in fact, there is one British national who has been saved, who came out alive after that crash, and that is why this meeting holds a lot of importance. UK High Commissioner will be briefing the Prime Minister also about what UK has to say on this entire statement. We've been getting you the statement from the Prime Minister of UK as well. Yesterday, he also tweeted out and he mourned the loss of those who have lost their life in this very tragic incident that has come to the fore. But most importantly, since morning, Prime Minister has been holding back-to-back meetings with the top officials of Gujarat. In fact, since yesterday, ever since this incident has taken place, he's been speaking to the Home Minister, he's been speaking to the Aviation Minister, and this morning he arrived at 8 o'clock in Gujarat, because he has been Prime Minister for last 11 years, but he was also the Chief Minister of Gujarat, and that is why this holds a lot of importance. We're taking a very short break. Coming up on the other side, Boeing 787 Dreamliner was flawed, and this is what the whistleblower had said as he sounded alarm early in the year 2024. Now, many are asking, was this warning ignored? We'll also tell you about the Israel strike on Iran nuclear plant, which is a massive escalation in the Middle East. Israel has declared state of emergency. This and much more on the other side. Stay with us.
Summer is here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ।
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ गुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबां में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल बोलो जुबां केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Welcome back. Now, the Israel Defense Forces confirmed that it has launched a full-scale aerial campaign targeting Iran's nuclear program. The military operation titled Nation of Lions involves precision airstrike on dozens of locations across Iran suspected to be linked to its nuclear activities and other military assets. According to IDF, this preemptive operation is aimed at neutralizing what it calls as a threat from Iran. The Israeli Air Force has reportedly completed the first stage of the operation, carrying out strikes on numerous sensitive targets. This includes military facilities, infra associated with Iran's nuclear development spread across various regions in this country.
This morning, the IDF began preemptive and precise strikes targeting the Iranian nuclear program in order to prevent the Iranian regime's ability to build a nuclear bomb in the immediate time frame. We have no choice. We are operating against an imminent and existential threat. We cannot allow the Iranian regime to obtain a nuclear weapon that would be a danger to Israel and the entire world. This operation is for our right to exist here, for our future and for our children's future. The State of Israel has the right and the obligation to operate in order to protect its people and will continue to do so.
במערכה זו צפויות התראות רחבות. יש חשיבות גבוהה להתמגנות מיטבית, בין אם במרחב הפרטי או הציבורי. עדיפות לממד, מקלט, מרחבים מוגנים במוסדות חינוך ומחסים ציבוריים שמאושרים על ידי פיקוד העורף.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time.
Now moving on, after the Axiom 4 mission being postponed, NASA and ISRO have released statement on their X accounts on the matter. The mission was supposed to launch on June 9th after its initial delay, but people have been waiting to see Captain Shubhanshu Shukla make his way to the International Space Station with the 3 other team members. There are more details on this story. Here's more.
India eagerly waited for June 9th to see Captain Shubhanshu Shukla embark on the Axiom 4 mission. However, the mission to the International Space Station was postponed due to a technical glitch being detected on the Falcon 9 rocket. ISRO Chief V. Narayanan also posted on X. He stated that ISRO is working closely with Axiom Space, NASA, and SpaceX as they responsibly addressed the ISS module observation causing the delay. When the mission launches, the world will witness Shubhanshu Shukla from India, Peggy Whitson from the US, Slavos Uznansky from Poland, and Tibor Kapu from Hungary making their way to the International Space Station.
Very short break. Coming up on the other side, Boeing 787 Dreamliner was flawed, and this is what the whistleblower had said, sounding an alarm early in the year 2024. Many are asking, was this warning ignored? We'll also tell you about Israel's strike on Iran nuclear plant in a massive escalation in the Middle East. Israel has declared the state of emergency. We'll get you these top 2 stories and much more on the other side. Stay with us.
Deep in the dense forest of Gadchiroli, a silent force moves with the precision and purpose. These are the C-60 Commandos, elite anti-Naxal unit trained to fight to end the Naxal terror.
Is here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ बढ़ाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
Here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ।
Largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hi there, welcome to this Friday edition of 5 p.m. Live and Breaking. The painstaking and painful process of connecting the relatives with the last remains, the mortal remains of those who perished in Ahmedabad crash. That's our focus, even as authorities are close to getting hands on the black box with the tail being brought down and it's been located. That's our focus. Let's begin with the headlines. Republic has access a new video of the moment of crash. It shows people running and screaming as plumes of smoke is seen. Prime Minister Modi in Ahmedabad visits the crash site and meets injured victims in the hospital. The black box from the crash will be sent to a top international lab, likely in France or the United States, for expert analysis. Air India under immense scrutiny, 3 flights hit with multiple snacks in the same 24 hours.
I want to make clear that I have raised these issues over 3 years. I was ignored. I was told not to create delays. I was told, frankly, to shut up.
Boeing 787 Dreamliner was flawed. Whistleblower sounded alarm early in the year 2024. Was his warning ignored? Israel strikes Iran nuclear plant in massive escalation in the Middle East. Israel declares state of emergency. All right, so we are getting a breaking news development connected with the Iran-Israel war, with the United States President now speaking. Donald Trump has issued a sharp warning to Iran following the Israeli strikes. Trump has said they are all dead now and it will only get worse. Praising Israel's military might, Trump warned of even more brutal attacks ahead and urged Iran to make a deal quickly, saying, just do it before it's too late. Remember, overnight we had Israel striking at least 6 major military locations across Iran, including the capital Tehran, and in those strikes has taken down the chief of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, and essentially the successor of General Soleimani. And in fact, the Israeli strikes have taken down a couple of top Iranian scientists. Israel maintains that these were preemptive strikes to debilitate Iran's capacity to make a nuclear bomb, which Israel maintains that Israel was close to having. From newsroom we have Kritarth joining us live. And Kritarth, what more can you share about the latest situation in West Asia post those Israeli strikes overnight?
Indeed, this is the first reaction that is coming on from US President Donald Trump after Israel struck Iran, and there was subsequently also a massive drone and a missile attack done by Iran in retaliation. However, initial reactions from the United States were from Marco Rubio, who attempted to distance the US's involvement in this entire decapitation strike that was ordered by Israel on top nuclear program officials, including the IRGC chief. Now, Donald Trump has taken a very interesting position. After distancing US directly from the attacks, Donald Trump has gone on to say and warn Iran that this entire attack happened because Iran never agreed to a nuclear deal with the United States. The US has been attempting to come to a nuclear deal with Iran since President Trump took office earlier this year in order to prevent them from nuclear proliferation. Now, in this sequence of events, Trump is saying that the people who oppose this deal, the hardliners, as Trump called it in his post on Truth Social, are all dead. And he's now warning that Israel is perhaps planning a second strike on Iran. And if Iran does not come to a deal, then the next strike will be even more deadly, as Israel has some of the most lethal weapons made by the United States, and Israel knows very well how to use them. So now, after initially distancing the United States' involvement in the killing and decapitation strikes ordered on top Iranian nuclear program officials, US is now attempting to leverage the Israeli position of potential second attack and try to force Iran back on the negotiation table. Now, whether Ali Khamenei and his government subsequently takes any action that can bring them to the table to make a deal with the United States is something that remains to be seen. However, as usual, President Trump taking it to social media to put out his opinion on this entire situation after strategically putting outside the US of this entire equation is something that seems like an opportunistic way of him attempting to hijack Israel's strikes, claim credit of some form by trying to get a peace deal on the table. While Israel does not believe in the deal at the moment, there is no comment made yet. Benjamin Netanyahu has said that more strikes are perhaps to come in the next 2 days. That's the big update that we're tracking, Abhishek.
Thank you so much, Kritarth, for those updates back home and back to the story under focus, which is the Ahmedabad crash of Air India. The UK High Commissioner, Lindy Cameron, met Prime Minister Modi earlier in the day in Ahmedabad, and in fact, she has posted before that and she has been in Ahmedabad since last evening itself, and she says, my team and I have visited the crash site and the hospital in Ahmedabad. Colleagues in UK and India are working around the clock to gather information and support British nationals affected. Lindy Cameron in Ahmedabad, and I'm told Chandrakala joins us live from outside the UK High Commission. What more can you share, Chandrakala, about the UK High Commission's engagements or High Commissioner's engagements with the authorities there? Remember, viewers of the 242 on board Air India 171 that met with that crash. About 50 were British citizens. Chandrakala, over to you. Okay, in fact, we have cut live to pictures.
Of course, the UK.
Go ahead, Chandrakala, go ahead.
The UK High Commissioner has personally met Prime Minister Modi in Ahmedabad, and of course.
Okay, Chandrakala, just hold on to your thoughts. We are getting pictures of the tail of the aircraft which has been brought down from the floor of the building where it was struck. And